Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a great day, and welcome to the first ever video on this channel. And you guys see the title? I hope you're as excited as I am for all of these kick-ass games. I really can't wait for some of these games to come out. Starting off strong with number 10, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. As South Park's Stick of the Truth had a huge success back in 2014, The Fractured But Whole has a quite nice budget for development, about 1.6 million copies sold, and a few interesting ideas bringing new ways on how you can enjoy gaming. This RPG sequel will be taking actions in the TV show's mini-series about superheroes, starring you as the new kid or douchebag alongside with the Coon, Mysterion, and others.
Out in the hallway, you saw two intruders in front of your parents' door. You had to stop them from hurting your parents. You knew you had the power to stop them. So for the first time, you called upon your speedster.
Fractured But Whole will be featuring a new interesting playstyle and combat system, different from the previous game and a completely new and fresh in a certain way. VR technology, the Oculus Rift, which gives you the chance to experience in-game smells for the very first time.
Hey, we're looking cool. We can stop. I'm so sick of the fucking smells. I fucking feel disgusting.
Wow, that's literally taking things to the next level. This time as a player, you can choose from many different classes with unique superpowers, and it's only up to you if you want to be an alien, high-tech wonder, or a genetically altered mutant and become the hero South Park needs. Releasing in March of 2017 with a $60 price tag for the standard version, they also include Stick of Truth free with pre-purchase. On the game's official website or Uplay, you can also pick up collectibles or collector's edition for $90.
Good job, new kid. You're really getting the hang of this. Hey, wait. What about code? Oh, shit. Come on.
Number 9, Super Mario Odyssey, a highly anticipated game for the new Nintendo Switch that might already be one of the biggest console exclusives, featuring almost everybody's childhood favorite, Nintendo's very own Mario. From the production of Yoshiaki Koizumi, which has been in the Super Mario and Legend of Zelda franchises since 1991, Koizumi himself is referring SMO to a sandbox experience. Finally, a proper game release for Mario fanatics after the 2013 Super Mario 3D World release on the Wii U. In this classical platformer action-adventure, the player will be able to enjoy many different environments, mechanics, and a free-form open-world level design previously featured in Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. Are you tired of the environment typical for the Super Mario franchise? Well, I guess you're in luck if so, because now in the brand new game, you're actually able to play in the streets of New York City. Wait, actually it's called New Donk City. Our favorite hero also gets a new ability to throw his cap to use it like a spring to reach higher ledges or across over gaps. I guess that might actually cure some of our frustrations. With other interesting features like skipping rope, a mount, we will miss you Yoshi, and a climbing system, Super Mario Odyssey will be releasing on the 29th of December for $59.99 US, but Nintendo Switch release date is already scheduled to be out on March 3rd. So expect some big things coming from Nintendo. Number 8, Project Cars 2. Some of you might not agree, but listen before you make any assumptions. Brought to you by Slightly Mad Studios, creators of the original game, and on top of that, they also created Need for Speed Shift and Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed. The developers probably decided after the original release to really step up their game. Project Cars 2 should feature the largest variety of different real-life racetracks and courses ever. There's now a large option of motorsports featuring rallycross on dirt, gravel, mud, snow, and ice, with a huge variety of cars and tiered matchmaking with a spectator mode. You were able to compete with other players using the Pagani Huayra, McLaren, P1, GTR, or your childhood car crush from decades earlier. With the developers aiming for a September release this year, we still don't know much about the game and can't really confirm much from the footage and screenshots, as work on the game is still in progress, but I can bet money it's gonna be something special. Coming on in at number 7, For Honor. Are you a fan of close battle PvP, or would you rather swing around a sharp iron object instead of shooting a gun from long distances? I think that's interesting to at least give it a shot. If you think that sounds interesting, then Ubisoft's For Honor is the right title for you. Including 3 factions, the Knights, Samurais, and Vikings, with a total of 12 classes to suit your playstyle. Not to mention that the player will actually be able to customize each character separately, giving you the option to choose gender, a color palette for each opposing side, armor materials, patterns, and an emblem, or simply choose a preset outfit. This game features a complex scrimmaging mechanics that can be used to create a unique combo to defeat your opponent and finish him off with a fancy execution, which is important and crucial in order to kill the enemy so he cannot be revived by his teammates. The players will be able to utilize their skill and mechanics in 3 different combat modes: 1v1 duel, 2v2 brawl, and 4v4 domination, elimination, and scrimmage. And if you find yourself struggling versus other players, you can also choose the option to practice in player versus AI. With the game already passing the closed alpha and open beta, the release date is scheduled for February 14th. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Deep into the narco state of Bolivia, the player is set into Ubisoft's largest open-world tactical shooter game with a map larger than the previous Tom Clancy's The Division. The Santa Blanca drug cartel gains more power and influence, which made Bolivia the largest producer of cocaine. This rise in power concerns the United States government. A bomb attack on the U.S. Embassy in La Paz and kidnapping of a DEA agent, Ricky Sandoval, convinces the United States Army to dispatch an elite operation unit called the Ghosts. Set into 21 different locations and 11 ecosystems, the player is offered many different ways on how to complete missions and develop his character to suit his playstyle, while fighting the game's 26 bosses. From more than 60 weapons and over 100 various weapon customizations to a character skill tree, the game also features tech gadgets like drones to spy on your enemies, or if an enemy jammer disables your drone, simply use the classic invention of binoculars to locate enemy jammers and destroy them. Probably simple but important mechanics of the game include stealth combat and chases in vehicles. Speaking about vehicles, the player is offered more than 60 vehicles to travel across the land, air, and water. That sounds pretty exciting.
Is that our golden world?
That's Habitat 7.
The big number 5, Mass Effect Andromeda. As much as EA and developer BioWare might get a lot of hate for many things that they've done or haven't done for the community, they can't go wrong with a new Mass Effect release. 5 years since the last release, the Mass Effect fandom will get the chance to witness another story taking place in a timeline between the second and third game. However, this time BioWare decided not to include Commander Shepard, the original trilogy protagonist, simply because they wanted more creative freedom. Instead, the protagonists of the new trilogy will be Sarah or Scott Ryder, depending on player's choice, and the characters will be voiced by Freda Wolf and Tom Taylorson.
Please, you're not really going out there on your own.
We're explorers. Not an army. Sure, we've been outplayed. The Archon is a master of his game.
Some of you may find this important or interesting, but they're actually using the Frostbite 3 engine instead of the Unreal Engine. Frostbite was developed by another company under EA's umbrella, DICE, and because of that decision, BioWare had to construct all the systems, tools, and assets from scratch. That, along with a completely new story, explains why it took so long to release. The game will be releasing on March 21st of 2017 in North America and March 23rd in Europe. Number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. 2. The Wild West open-world third-person shooter that many people talked and made rumors about for years is making a stylish return. Yet we still have little to no confirmed information about the game, with the possible main protagonists being Red Marlowe and John Marston, featuring a dual gameplay similar to Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 5. Another company behind Red Dead Redemption 2, which is Take-Two Interactive, explains why the city New Bordeaux, a fictionalized version of New Orleans from Mafia 3, appears on the bottom right corner of the Red Dead Redemption 2 leaked map. Either Rockstar and Take-Two just couldn't help themselves and had to put some Easter eggs into the game, or they just want you guys, the players, to actually create conspiracy theories and help the franchise grow even more after the highly anticipated comeback. With the reveal trailer itself already surprising us with the game graphics, it looks like it's actually 1900s Wild West landscape, and that's gonna prove to show a lot of hype. Ben Schachter, an analyst from Macquarie, predicts the game to sell over 12 million copies in Take-Two's second fiscal quarter of 2017, with the game's release in the third quarter of this year. Number 3. Outlast 2. Have you ever been to Arizona? After playing Outlast 2, you probably won't even think about passing through. Some people might actually recommend buying some extra pieces of underwear before even playing the game.
Shut up. You're not even a real locker. Oh, God. Okay. All right. That's cool. I don't care. Whatever. Fuck you. All right?
Who's that? Me! Oh, God damn it. Okay.
Run! Run! Oh, God. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Ah! Ah! Oh, not my glasses. Put on your glasses. Put on your glasses. What the fuck?
Featuring journalist Blake Langerman and his wife Lynn, who get separated in a helicopter crash. The player set into Blake's character has to roam through a village inhabited by a vicious set. If you never played the original game, you might think it's gonna be easy, right? Well, you might be wrong. As a player, you will be completely unable to defend. You can only defend yourself in selected scenes, and your primary style of combat will be hiding, running, but be aware and don't trip. If you fall over, Blake's glasses will fall off and your vision will be limited. Another key feature is Blake's camcorder, used to spot surrounding events through a night vision effect. However, if you use it inappropriately, the batteries will discharge, leaving you alone in the darkness of the Sonoran Desert. With the demo already being spread all around YouTube, some may think that the game has no more to offer, but the opposite is the truth. This is definitely going to be the game that you should look into if you want to have a little bit of a scare.
That dome hammer doesn't scare me. Boom. Oh no.
Coming in hot with number 2. God of War. With the title only saying God of War, it might be a hint to a soft reboot besides the series icon and still only playable character Kratos. The game will also be featuring his son Atreus. In the official trailer, Kratos acts like his teacher and protector. Oddly, the game's official website title says God of War: A New Beginning, so it might be the actual and official name or just a little cosmetic detail. What's now new and surprising is the environment of the storyline, because the saga will no longer continue in Greek mythology theme, but will be moving to the Norse mythology. Egyptian theme was also considered, but the developer Corey Balrog said Egyptian mythology is about the pharaohs and embodiment of the gods on earth, and there's a lot more about civilization. It's less isolated, less barren. Because of that, the team chose to move away from that idea and towards the Norse setting, as they wanted the focus to stay on Kratos. Having too much around distracts from the central theme of a stranger in a strange place. New God of War should involve more intense and interesting storylines, because the whole game is about Kratos teaching his son how to be a god and his son teaching Kratos how to be a human again.
Wait for my mark. Relax. Do not think of it as an animal. It is simply a target. Clear your mind. Exhale and release.
Who will take care of the soundtracks, you may ask? A man behind Battlestar Galactica and The Walking Dead music, Bear McCreary. Amazon states the release date is actually December 29th of 2017, and that will actually probably compete with Super Mario Odyssey release. However, it's still unknown if it's Sony's distribution date or the actual release. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for number 1. You're probably wondering, what do we place as number 1? We already read off a ton of awesome games, and now it's time for the big number 1. But first, before we do that, I would like to put in a couple of honorable mentions that deserve to be on this list, but didn't quite make the top 10. Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Pick this place clear. Every piece helps.
Uncharted The Lost Legacy.
One up here. Besides you. Smart ass. Lots of locals have been sneaking back in. No one up here but us.
Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy. Let's get it. Number 1 is here, and it's actually The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Was that intense enough? Huh, we'll find out. I think it was intense enough. After being announced already in 2013 and delayed for its Wii U release, The Link Legacy continues as a flagship game on the new Nintendo Switch. Besides being an open world adventure with the possibility of playing dungeons in any order you want, The Legend of Zelda will be released in HD resolution for the first time ever. That's nice. On March 27th of 2015, the producer AGA Anuma announced a release delay stating, "Our priority is to make it the ultimate and most complete Zelda game." At E3 2016 in June, Nintendo revealed the subtle Breath of the Wild. However, the only version displayed was the Wii U release because Nintendo probably wanted to save some tricks up their sleeve for the games and Nintendo Switch release on March 3rd, 2017. Along with Manaka Kadoka composing the soundtrack for the game and the developers wanting a different yet still classic visual approach, the game reinvents what a Zelda game can be, but still bringing it back to its roots. Now that finishes off our top 10 list of the top games that are going to be coming out in 2017. Keep in mind we only added games onto this list that have actually confirmed release dates and or actually confirmed being released at least for this year. With that being said, there could be games that are going to be coming out that have not been confirmed, like the new Call of Duty and any other random games, or maybe even some secret releases. You never know. Thank you so much for reaching this point in the video. You're absolute beast, and be sure to subscribe because there's going to be new unique content coming to this channel very frequently, and we're going to be trying our best to keep the quality as high as possible. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Be ready.